Peace, HHDG. We are on another episode of HHDG Media Podcast. As always, this is brought to you through our company, HHDG Media Inc., which consists of our 5 owners, T. Smith, Skelly Top, The Mayor, Rock Vader KB, and myself, Wiki. Definitely big shout out to them, support, and we always networking. So, if y'all ever see us at events, definitely, say what's up. We out there. We putting in the work, and the feedback we receive through our YouTube and on Facebook and IG is definitely appreciated. So big salute to everyone that's always tuning in through our YouTube channel as well as our Facebook group. As you can see on the bottom banner, we got our website, hhdgmedia.com, where you can go there and check out our previous written interviews as well as music, merchandise, and upcoming events. For tonight, we have a multi-talented artist repping Queens, Long Island City to be exact, who I like to describe his music as cinema, street cinema, life cinema. And part of his music reminds me of a lot of the older black and white films that, my mom's used to watch. And it has a certain atmosphere to it. And his music does exactly the same with what he presents to this hip hop culture. And his new album, Van Gogh, was dropped on May 2nd, is definitely a true example of that. And he has some ill samples on it that he kills as well, which is one of his skills, production, aside from the lyrical talent that he presents to us. And a key component to any artist that wants to establish themselves, aside from, being multi-talented, is how nice are you? Are you sounding like a clone? Our artist for tonight is definitely not a clone. And with the talent that is around him, real recognize real. Artists like Lex, FU, Spit Gems. I could go on, but we definitely going to talk about others, that he's affiliated with. Just P, more and more and more. And these artists alone, talented, multi-talented, in fact. So, you're surrounded with talent like that. There's nothing more than to elevate yourself as well with, that friendly competition. So that's a big respect right there to, get to know our artist for tonight is Tre Eiht. Peace.
Peace. How y'all doing, yo?
Or if you want to go by your ill ad-lib, Ocho.
Ocho, you feel me? But hold up. My boy Deep. If Deep is listening, I just want to say, Ouch, because he doesn't like when I don't pronounce those things. But yeah.
Got you. Peace to Deep.
Yo, peace, my brother. How's everything with you, man?
Doing good. I'm doing good.
That's good. Thank you for having me on, on your platform.
Absolutely.
It's a big deal for me. I appreciate that.
I appreciate it. I think the first time when I spoke with you, I think it was at Beer Wax.
Was it at Beer Wax for was it the FU show? Or
FU, yeah.
Yep. Gotcha.
Yep. Big shout out to Passport Rabbits too.
Passport Rab, yeah. Me and Passport Rab got a beautiful album out right now. It's called Escape Artist. I produced it entirely.
Right
there. Yeah, right there, exactly. That's entirely produced by me. I usually give people verses, but honestly, I didn't think I needed to put a verse on that shit. Rab definitely executed exactly what I was looking for with every single beat that I sent.
Mm-hmm.
And turnaround time was phenomenal because I can definitely say, for one, me as an artist, I don't make projects as fast as that man did that shit. Feel me?
Really?
Yeah. And for it to sound like a classic album, like I feel like it's being slept on right now, but it's one of those albums that as we keep releasing stuff, people are gonna go back to it and be like, oh, like oh, I didn't even realize these two collabed. Let me hear this album, and then that's when I feel like it'll get the proper praise that it deserves. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that. Yep. And to have two artists that are not just MCs but both producers, so I'm sure the chemistry was there of y'all having that same understanding of structure, putting the verses in at certain points, the transitions and everything.
Oh, you know what? I can't even take credit for that. That's all Rav.
Oh, it's all right.
All I did was send him the beats. He orchestrated it exactly how he wanted it to sound, and I trusted his process because I know he's a seasoned vet. I consider myself a seasoned vet as well, but he has a couple of more years on it, so I got a little more trust for him. It's not like somebody that if I was to just meet like on the fly, like oh yo, I want to work with you and shit, like I would be really there, like, all right, I think we should do this and this and that. I just let Rav take full control of it. All I can say is I produced every single beat on there, but that is all Rav. That's Rav's creative genius because down to the videos, down to we even did a video of my job that I personally can't repost because I don't want to lose my job. I ain't trying to lose my job, but I work at a very famous theater, and I definitely got him in there to do the video, and we executed that shit beautifully, and I got my job looking at me right now. they definitely just waiting for me to mess up another time, so that they can be like, all right, 3 strikes are out. But it was totally worth it, Rav is a genius. He's a creative genius. It was a pleasure working with him.
That's what's up. And one of the things about Rav is, he's another one that pays attention to how the game is and what type of marketing to put out with physicals and be a little creative. So with this album, he had the USB.
Absolutely. We did the NFC shit.
Yep.
Absolutely. Because on the real, I think I could be wrong, but I know that I'm the first person. Well, me and Rav, we're the first people, at least, that did that. I don't know any other artist that has actually done that shit. Every time I introduce it to somebody, they're like, "Yo, this is crazy. I've never seen it before."
Yep.
So I take pride in knowing that, like, in the underground scene, me and Rav definitely did that NFC shit first. Like even when I'm at my job and shit, and people are like, "Yo, you make music?" All they gotta do is tap their iPhone to my shit, and they get the whole album.
Yep. I think the only other NFC I've seen, it was in a completely different format, but what y'all did with the USB, that's the first time I've ever seen that. You hear me? I think we might have lost him for a second. What I was saying was definitely what Passport Rap did with the NFC USB right here. Definitely was a first. Let me put Tre Eiht back up in there. There you go.
My bad. We have some technical difficulties. Let me disconnect this Wi-Fi because I think
Okay.
Yeah, hooked up to some like fucking McDonald's Wi-Fi or something like that and cut us off. But yeah, it was definitely a great me and Raz made that project within like 3 months. Like I've never worked with anybody so fast like that, besides my boy Avalanche. Like but it's always great when I can work with people at the same speed as me. You feel me?
I feel that, and to actually piggyback off of that, and it's crazy because one of my favorite tracks off the album is 9 to 9.
9 to 9, yes.
And that's an example right there. That work ethic that y'all have.
Yeah, you gotta have that. My opinion, if you're not, I look at it like, yo, listen, man, I got no felonies. There's no reason for me to be in the streets and shit.
Hmm.
I'm gonna leave that game to somebody that really needs that. You feel me? So it's like I done dabbled in it like years ago and shit, and I changed my life kind of when my right before my daughter was born. You feel me? I didn't want no reason to ever be out of her life. So if I had to, sacrifice that fast money and shit, and so be
Right.
it. At least I'll never ever be out of my daughter's life. You feel me? And I feel like she deserves that at most.
I feel that. And your first, um, I believe it's your first official, the Trelude. That was 2017.
That was my first official release, yes.
Okay. Now, speaking on what you said about making changes in your life, I noticed that your name was you also going by Tre Eiht Special. So,
Absolutely, yes.
so coincide with what you were saying. Make that change in your life because that type of reference, incites a certain type of negativity to it.
Mhm. And it's crazy because I named myself that because my name is Trey. My whole family knows me as Trey because I'm Angel Ortiz, but I'm the third. So my whole family calls me Trey. And then the first first handgun I got introduced to was 38 Special, Hammerless 38
Mm.
Special. So I was just like, yo, you know what? Being that, and then I used to be on 38 Ave all the time. I look at it like numerology.
Yep.
I'm like, it's meant to be. And then MC8 growing up was one of my favorite artists. So I was like, I'm not gonna spell it like eight. I'm not gonna put the number eight. I'm gonna pay homage to one of my favorite artists growing up, and just cut off the special part because then that's when I found out about 38 Special too. so,
Okay.
so I was like, you know what? Let me take out the special part. Let 38 Special have that, and I just go by Tre Eiht. People been calling me Tre Eiht since I was in like ninth, 10th grade, bro. So it's just like I just stuck with it. And now it's like it's just there. Now it's like I feel like in the story of at least in my neighborhood and shit, story of Long Island City, I'm the one that's next up. If it's not me and it's my boy Avalanche and we got this group Shot Callers. So it's like we're just trying to flood them right now. We got so many songs in the vault, just trying to release and shit. It's just like it's just about releasing it properly. I just wanted to reach the masses and actually, and it deserves to be listened to.
I feel that. Mm. Now, going back to your past, because you said you've always been called that. Um, Tell people about your heritage. Coming from two different, ethnicities and everything.
So yeah, my mother is black with a like maybe like a fourth of Cuban or whatever, but she's black. She's an African American woman, you know. And then my father's Honduran, Puerto Rican. But my mother's brother always called me Trey Dog because I was the third, and he's actually the third as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so you always used to call me Trey Dog and shit, and my pops called me Trey, uncle, and all of that, even on the other side of the family. So yeah, it's kind of like my uncle ended up having to do 20 years when I was about 3 years old. So, but every time I went to go visit him, like upstate or at Riverhead, at Green or whatever, it's always, yo, what's good, Trey Dog? Like, how you doing?
Hmm.
And it was just like that. The Trey Dog. I used to go by Trey Dog, but it was just like I just felt it was just too. I felt it was like a childish name. Trey Dog,
Okay.
DAWG,
Hmm.
So I was just like, yeah, let me switch it up a little bit, and then it's been Tre Eiht since like the end of eighth grade. Feel me? Now we going on what since eighth grade. I want to say I was 13, so we going on. We're going on 12 years. May 30th. In 2 more days we're on 12 years that I've been Tre Eiht officially.
Wow.
Yeah, bro.
What
Yeah.
kind of what music were you growing up on, and is any of the music that you sample influenced by what you grew up on?
All of it.
Okay.
All of it. Because I started sampling all the vinyls that my black grandmother had. When my uncle went away, he had a big vault of records, like down from soul to all the original hip hop albums. I still have, because when he got out, he
Hmm.
went to go get his records and then he brought them to me.
Oh,
But
okay.
but he got, like, like Barry, Teddy, Luther, all, like, like the Legends, Marvin. And then it's like it's a big crate of those records, and there's a big crate of the original Doggy Style, 36 Chambers, Illmatic. He got singles like Beatnut singles and all of that. So
That's
and it's mind boggling that years later, like, like after he got out, now before he got out, I'm already in the studio and shit with Large Pro and Fame and Tragedy and all of them. So now when I get these records when he gets out of jail, I'm like, damn, son, that's crazy. I got all these records of my peoples. Like, you feel me?
yep.
Like, I got records that they probably don't even remember that they dropped. Like, so it was a beautiful experience when I was able to, like, show some of them, like, yo, look, I got this. Like, yo, I got this. I got fucking this single that nobody has. Who knows how much it's worth now? But I'm not looking to sell it because, like, these are my people. So I want
Yeah.
to keep. If
You got
anything, like,
serious that
yeah,
one. Yep.
yeah. If anything, I want to keep it or give it to them, like, so that they can have it if they don't have it.
Mm,
Shit like that.
that's dope, man. I love because hearing the influence that our elders or even older siblings have, and a lot of times they got that record collection, and that was the same with my father and my two uncles. I inherited some of their stuff as well.
Mm. What kind of records they had?
Oh man, we had stuff from soul, disco, house music, jazz, gospel, um, some of the older roots reggae music as well.
Of course,
45.
all like the pioneers and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Hmm. That's what I'm talking about. I feel like that's what makes us. You feel me? It's like what our family listen to, because even with my Spanish grandmother, she's Honduran, but a lot of Honduran, like from back then, a lot of Hondurans, they listen to banda or boleros, baladas, and stuff like that.
Hmm.
It's like wait one second, give me one. Yeah, a lot of that and shit.
They kicked us out.
Huh?
They kicked us out.
Yeah, we got into a fight.
Yeah.
I smacked some bitch, yo.
Yeah.
They were.
Touch their hair.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, violation.
Yeah, so they kicked us out.
101.
Oh
Don't
shit.
play that shit.
Yeah.
I threw a fucking ball at her face.
Hey, I can sit in here while I'm doing the interview if y'all want.
Everybody
fault,
knows so we gotta
My
That's
people,
all
my people
good.
got kicked out. Huh?
Hey, it's live.
Yeah, facts. This is the third.
So I'm
No
gonna wait
script
till
here.
in the car. Me and Jay gonna smoke. We gonna figure out his rapper coming or not.
Get in if you want, nigga.
We're trying to figure it out.
Get in. If you want, yeah. 'Cause I just gotta do the interview right now. Alright? I'm gonna be over here. I ain't gonna be rude, but let me just do this real quick.
Angel.
Alright?
See you next week if anything.
Alright, cool.
Uber.
Sounds good. Get in, nigga. I'll ride you to wherever you get an Uber for cheaper.
Okay.
Alright?
Oh, that's good. Right,
Alright? My fault, buddy.
That's all good.
Yeah, they was throwing a party for me, but I don't know. I guess it got a little crazy up there. But yeah, bro. So it's like, yeah, when my grandmother and shit, she introduced me to like baladas, boleros, and all that. So that's actually what helped me get the fucking the placement. My first big placement was with Joey Badass and Pro Evan.
Priority. Yep.
So it was like, it was a beautiful thing. It was like a blessing in disguise, kind of, because I'm just listening to, my grandmother, fucking, bless, God bless Lola. She's still with us, but God bless Lola.
Dope, dope. And can't take that lightly because the wait the production that you on was a very monumental album for Pro Era. You know, Peep the Apocalypse.
Yeah, that's the last album Steez is actually on.
Yep, yep.
So it was a really big deal too. It's like, especially me meeting them and all of that, understanding, and then them making me like honorary Beast Coast member and all that. So it's kind of like it was actually even to a point where they wanted to sign me to Pro Era, but me being young at the time, I'm like 14, like 14, 15. They hit me with, oh, but if you produce, then you have to all your beats come directly to us. So me being young, I'm looking at it like, I ain't gonna negotiate. I should have
Mhm.
negotiated, but I didn't know anything about the negotiation, so I just told them straight up, I'm like, nah, I want to work with everybody, so I can't be Pro Era.
You just
You know?
yeah.
They were like, all right, well, you're still Beast Coast, so I took that title, and I'm like, yeah, cool. I'll still rep
That's
Beast
what's up.
Coast.
Yep, that's dope, man. Wow, I didn't even know all that.
Yeah, nah, shout out to A La Soul. Before they blew up, I hit up A La Soul on SoundCloud because he had just dropped something. I seen that he was down Pro Era. So I just
Hmm.
told him, I was like, yo, I fuck with y'all movement. I was like, whatever beats y'all need and shit, let me know. And he sent me his email, and after that, I met up with Son, went to his crib, smoked with him, whatever. Like, met his fam and all of that. He's cool peoples, man. Shout out to Eli Soul. He goes by Aaron Rose now, but, dude's
That's right.
talented.
Yep.
Dude is a super talented dude, man. They came through. A lot of people don't realize, but they actually were there. I don't know if you know about the Sean Price, Starvin' B freestyle and Goblins fucking with Tragedy, Large
Oh
Clothing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
But a lot of people don't know that Pro Era was there too. A La, I think it was Desi Hines and CJ Fly. And at that moment when they was performing, like when Sean Price was performing his freestyle with Starvin, I'm in the next room showing CJ Fly and A Live some fucking beats. So it's like it's crazy how, like
Wow.
yeah,
Oh,
just Royal Flush over there. Man, it was a legendary lineup over there, man. It was a beautiful day, honestly. It was a beautiful day
that's
for hip hop.
that's dope to be, in that whole atmosphere with all of them. Damn,
Bro,
and you were young too.
I was 14, 15 years old. They're the reasons. Sean Price and Starvin' B are the reasons why I started writing again. Because I came into that studio like, yo, I'm gonna just be a producer and like get my name out there, and then if I want to do music in the future, like rap again, then I will. But Sean Price is the one that me and him one day just sitting at the bar, and nobody else there, and he's writing some shit, and I'm like, yo, like you and Starvin, y'all inspired me to get back into the writing. And Sean looked at me. He was like, yo, bro. He's like, on the real. He's like, if you feel like you should write, then you should. He's like, don't be pussy. He was like, because look, he's like, motherfuckers don't know I could dance like Rerun. And then he backed away from the bar and did a whole rerun dance from What's
Oh
Happening.
shit.
And I was like, that's insane because I didn't even know this big ass man could move like that. So that kind of opened up my eyes. I'm like, yo, you know what? Yeah, I should show motherfuckers exactly what I can do. And hence, that's how the Trelude was brought up.
Wow.
It's like, yo, I'll never forget. I used to make so many beats for these dudes, and I always wanted to do something for Sean Price. And the first time he actually liked one of my beats, right? He was like, yo, send that to me. I was like, all right, cool. And I sent it to him, and then a week later he passed away before he could even record to it.
Oh man.
hmm
Hmm.
Yeah. But I had a song that I had a beat that it was supposed to be Illa G. I made it in, I want to say 2013. In 2014, Illa G picked it, and he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna get Sean Price and I'm gonna get Rock Moss on the shit."
Ooh.
Bro, if that would have happened, then I don't know where like my career trajectory would have went, because the beat is fire. Like, but like I say, everything happens for a reason. Maybe I wasn't ready at that moment, you know.
Absolutely. Yep.
Who knows what I would have did? Like, you know, being young and dumb and wilding out and still in the streets and all of that and shit. It didn't happen at that moment because it wasn't supposed to.
I hear that. Yep. Wow. So at what point did MC8, come into your life, and was it through Compton's Most Wanted, or was it his solo work?
It's growing up in the hood, yeah, boy, 1984. That shit. I was about maybe 8, 9 years old. Nah, maybe 7, 8 years old. That's my pops. He never really gave a fuck. He was like, "Yo, nah, you gonna listen to the shit that I fuck with." So I fucking he definitely, once LimeWire came out,
Mm-hmm.
all he did was he was like, "Yo, I want 150 songs of this motherfucker. I want 150 songs of this motherfucker here," and he got me like 50 what is it, CDRW joints, you know, you feel me? And you
Oh
download,
yeah.
you make your little mixtapes on there and shit.
Yep.
Bro, I used to do that shit for my whole family, even with my grandparents. I'd be like, "Yo, just write down a list of songs that you want, and I'll make a
I got
CD for
you.
you." Yeah, so, but yeah, that's where I got the MCA shit from growing up in the hood, because I guess my pops, he always had a liking to that song,
Mm-hmm.
and Hood took me under. So once I knew about those two songs, LimeWire, having access to LimeWire, I'm like, let me listen to every MC8 song ever. And you know, that's where I was like, nah, MC8, the way he enunciates his words, it's like you feel the pain, like nigga, like, oh, fucked up childhood, not damn, like, you feel me, like you're like, damn, that nigga is, he's upset. You feel me? Like, that man is upset. Like, he don't want to fucking go through that shit, and I feel that because, like me, I had a fucked up childhood. Like, you know, it was not easy, bro. It was not. So looking at that, and then growing up watching Menace to Society at like 9 years old, 10 years old, showing my boys that shit when they like 9 and 10 years old, like kind of sculpting their mind to be like, "Yo, now we got to take over the streets over here and shit." Like, I was on some whole different type of timing that I wasn't even ready for.
Mm-hmm.
It was just more of influence. You understand? It was just all influence, but out of that, it's insane because a lot of people are no longer around because they couldn't keep up the morals to the codes and all of that. You know, a lot of people went against the code and they're not with us, and it's like, it's fucked up. Sometimes I think about it, I'm like, damn, did I introduce them to fucked up shit? But nah, everybody got free will, you know?
Yeah. And it's still around you at the same time.
It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Feel me?
Yeah. You know, one thing my pop said to me growing up in the hood, he's like, I'm gonna do my best, by example, be hard working and everything. But you step out that door, not even step out the door, you hear it. You hear it all the time. You know what's going on. I can only do so much. But at some point you gotta understand the right or wrong. I can only do so much.
It's called, like, I read I don't know if you're familiar with the Bhagavad Gita.
I'm sorry, say it again.
I don't know if you're familiar with the Bhagavad Gita. It's a book.
It sounds familiar. I'd have to go check it in.
So the Bhagavad Gita, right? I don't know. I came across some Buddhist dude that I used to be really cool with, and he was like, "Yo, read the Bhagavad Gita." So I read it. So it was basically just explaining the principles of karma and dharma. So once I read that, I was about I just left my FedEx job. I was in the middle of it. So I want to say I was about maybe 23, 24 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I read that, and it changed my whole perspective of life because I seen examples of these certain people that they would do things for people. Like for instance, Greg. You feel me? Like with Greg, I would get examples. I would see examples of certain people that they would do things for people without ever expecting anything in return. It was just more for like the kindness of their heart.
Right,
You know?
right.
And then it was a time I remember, I'll never forget. I was about 6 years old on the train with my pops, and there was this like homeless family, a mother and a baby, and it was fucking freezing. And my pops, like I had a scully on, and my pops told me, he was like, "Yo, take your scully off and give it to that baby." And I was like, why am I like, nah, like, you know, I kind of felt a little awkward. I ain't want to go and fucking get up and give my hat to a fucking random stranger. But when we left the train, he explained to me exactly why. And then when I read the Bhagavad Gita 20 years later, I'm like, damn, like, you know, it's about dharma and karma. Because, yo, if we have it and somebody else needs it, and we're capable of getting it again, it's like, why shouldn't we give that to that person that really needs it? You feel me? It's like you don't gotta expect anything in return because look how blessed we are already that we even have it in the first place.
That's true.
Feel me? So I look at it after that. It's like I switched up my whole lifestyle. It's like I kind of just wanted to do good for other people, but that should have bite you in the ass because sometimes you'll start doing good for people that don't deserve that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. And they look at it as taking advantage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
They look at it like
Yep.
yo, this suck ass nigga, like, yo, good looking out, man, yo, you know. It's like I was working with a dude for a long time, making a lot of music. I was paying for everything and all of that. When the time came to paying to get the album cover done, it was $50. And he met up with me. He was like, he gave me $44, and I was like, what's this? And he told me, he was like, yo, you're lucky I'm even giving you this. And I was like, the nerve, like, I'm like, the nerve of this nigga. I'm like, yo, the nerve of you. I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah, I didn't have no more money, but it's because he wanted to go buy a beer with the last $50 he had. So the beer was more important than paying the man to do the cover. So after that, I was just like, yeah, I ain't working with this man no more.
Yeah.
It was learning experience.
Yeah. You know, I'm, for the most part, I go through my day being a quiet but observant person, but I've learned that my demeanor speaks for itself a lot. And one thing I learned growing up around my grandparents is they had an open door for a lot of family. So even if they live in an apartment, you got problems, you come stay here for a while. And I seen that on both sides of my family with my grandparents. So when I got my first apartment, and my ex at the time, you know, one of her cousins had some issues going on, I said, let her stay here for, you know, a while until she get everything right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that all comes from what I seen growing up and
Exactly.
seeing the whole character.
Family, yo, you help out your family, man. Yeah, absolutely. But sometimes family will fuck you over.
Yep.
So fucking, oh my god.
Yep.
I swear. I went through it with family too. Went through it with family. I'm still going through it with certain family. It's fucked up. But it's because they have that entitlement that you're family.
Yep. And they're the worst.
They're the worst. Those are the worst type of people. Man, I had a cousin that she was going through hard times, and I would give her money here and there to help her and her daughter. And, you know, I was doing my thing at the time. This is years ago, you know, statute of limitations, you feel me? The statute of limitations helped me now. But this is years ago. So she hits me up and asks me for some things that she can get rid of in her state. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'll go, I got you. She's like, all right, but I'm gonna send my friends over there to go get it. Right then and there, I'm like, no. I'm like,
Nope.
what's that about? I'm like, she's like, yo, but you can trust me. I'm family. I'm family. I'm like, no. I'm like, if you don't come out here to get it yourself, then you're not gonna get it. And then I never spoke to her again. And then what ended up happening was she had gotten into some shit, and she owed people some money or whatever. She got some fake pills, did those fake pills, and then died.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's like, yo, and it's fucked up because now you're leaving your child behind. Your child don't have a father. I'm like, it's a whole, all together fucked up. Sometimes you try to help people that don't deserve it because y'all share blood, but that blood is contaminated already.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
There's nothing you can do about contaminated blood.
Not at all.
Mm-mm.
Being that we talking about, family and how we come up, I want to talk about the track you did with A1,
Yeah,
59th Street Bridge.
for sure.
That's one of my joints right there.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you. Wait, give me 1 second, brother. My
Okay.
fault. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. All right, my fault, buddy.
It's all good.
But wait, you said so you were asking me about 59th Street Bridge?
Yeah. I was saying that's one of my joints right there.
Oh, thank you. That's produced by the Translations. I'm pretty sure it's both of them on that. It's my boy Bonani and Laka.
Okay.
Yeah, these they some white boys from Philly, but they got soul, man. That's that what they call it, that blue-eyed soul.
Uh-huh.
That Justin Timberlake shit. Them dudes is nice though with it, and they play a lot of it themselves. Like
Oh, nice.
the bass lines, and they sample, but the bass lines, the drums and shit and all that, a lot of that they play themselves. That's what made me respect it even more.
That's
So I'm
dope.
just like, yeah, bro. But now they doing their own thing and shit, and that's why now I'm doing most of my work with my boy Simon Hampton from Canada. I'm doing my shit with Reason from Argentina, and then I've also got Noho Kai in the Bay Area in Cali.
All right. Yep.
Yeah, that's my dude. Me, Noho Kai, and my boy Avalanche. We got like a whole project in secrecy coming out. Like a lot of people don't know about it at all. But it just happened, like, I heard Noah Kai put up a beat on his Instagram, and I was like, yo, like, is anybody, like, doing anything to that? Like, yo, can you send that to me just so I could write?
Mm-hmm.
And I started writing, and I never said anything about it because I'm like, yo, you know what? I don't got the funds to buy this right now. I'm trying to save up for a new apartment. So, like, when I get my daughters on the weekend, get my daughters on the overnight, so I can go chill with her and shit, be at peace and all of that. So he sent me this beat, and then he hit me up maybe 5 days after. He's like, yo, you gonna do anything to that beat? And I didn't, I wrote to it, but I didn't expect him to make, to want to work on the track. So I showed my man Avalanche. He wrote a verse in 10 minutes. Then we went to his crib, recorded it, sent it to him, and now we're 8 tracks in.
Nice.
Yeah, he liked the shit so much. He was just like, yo, nah, I'm gonna keep sending y'all shit, and we're gonna see what happens out of it. I mean, so far, I like what I've been seeing happening out of it so far. It's beautiful. That dude Noah Kai's a talented motherfucker, man.
Yeah, he's very talented. Yep. Always hear good things about him.
They can't sleep on his bars. His bars is fire. A lot of people don't even know he raps.
Yeah, I think the first time I did hear him, I didn't know that as well.
first time I ever heard him rap was on the track with it's like Matt Maddox, something like that.
Oh, man, Mattis. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, besides that, then I got him, and then I'm doing another another project with this dude named Tam Shu, who hit me up on Instagram. He got fire ass beats.
I'm sure. Okay.
Him and Grim Doja from Jersey.
Oh yeah, I know Grim. Yeah. Yep.
Grim, that's my dude. I've been following him for a minute, and me and him we got a good rapport and shit. So he's been sending me some beats, and yeah, bro, I'm about to hit him with the melodies and shit, and kind of do something a little different that everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
But everybody gonna see it right there, due time.
At that. Now, with all the music that you grew up on, and then having all the record collection, was production you first go at, or was it the MC?
Rhyming. Rhyming.
Okay.
I started off rhyming 9 years old, third grade. I'll never forget. I started rhyming because I don't know if you're familiar, when cable we used to have a shit called Music Choice. On cable, you had
that's just right.
Time Warner or what is it, Optimum or whatever. They on the channel 600 or whatever. They had Music Choice, Hip Hop Nation, or what is it? Music Choice Hip Hop, Music Choice Rap, Music Choice Old School Classic.
Oh yeah. Okay, now yeah.
Right, it's ringing the bell a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I would come home from school. Because I was living with my mom in Long Island at the time, man. I wasn't hanging out on those streets like how in Queens I would hang out on a block because I had fucking 15, 20 friends in the same building or whatever. Out there, it was just me. So I would come home and just listen to old school shit. I would just put on, it was channel 606, Music Choice fucking hip-hop classics. And I would just listen to all the classics all day. So when in my school they gave us a journal type thing, and in my journal I would just write rhymes. I would just write shit that rhymed, and a lot of it was trash. It was just shit that rhymed, it didn't make any sense, but it helped sculpt me into learning how to do multi-syllable rhymes and all of that and shit. It was early beginning, but I got into producing because motherfuckers kept slacking on sending me beats because they wasn't taking me serious. I'm mad young. So when I came back to Queens, I linked up with these dudes in Ravenswood. My boy Embezzle Kills and Howard the Diesel and all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I recorded at their crib because they made beats. It was me and a couple other kids that I made music with. We used to call ourselves N-Line, being that we're from Queens, the N-Liners of it. So we recorded some shit, and it took forever for them to send it back. So that was where I kind of was like, yo, fuck that. I don't ever want to have to go through this again. So I want to learn how to make my own beats. And I was about 11, 12, yeah, because, yeah. You ever heard of Jam Glue? You ever heard of jamglue.com?
Jamglue.com? No, that don't sound familiar.
It was a website where you could take a beat and put another acapella on it, make blends basically.
Okay.
I used to do that. I had FL, but I enjoyed my time doing that more, making little CDs out of blends that I made, out of different beats, different acapellas. But that website ended up closing down. And shutting down forever, so I was like, fuck this. I was like, I gotta start making beats or something, cause I'm tired of just chilling in the crib doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So my pop's lady at the time got me FL and Reason. Started on Reason, I didn't fuck with it. Got on FL, I started making beats every day, learning. And within the next year and a half, I learned how to sample really good, and that's when the trajectory went. And it was okay, now I know my ear. Now let me send shit to these people. So it started off really with SoundCloud, collabing with random people that just had good followings, like my boy Amphibian and like Logic, or who else? Jesse James and all of that. That's back in the day though. That's like, oh, like when did Marsburg come out? Like 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like around there, I'm sending these dudes like these beats, they rapping to it. And as I keep getting good, that's when I find out about A-Lot Soul and Pro Era dudes, and I send them shit before I even really heard anything about them. Then they released that sex tape shit, and this was like, it kept going from there. And then they got discovered by, what is it, Cinematic?
Yep.
Yeah, so, yeah, and then from there, you know, it was good. I mind you, I'm like maybe 14, 15 years old, and there's people inside of my school rhyming to my instrumental, but they don't know I made it. I'm just there chilling, eating my lunch, serving my bud and shit, because that was my thing. I didn't want to attract no attention. And then, yeah, it was like, once they found out I was the producer of that shit, I was like, I should take this more serious. So I kind of just left the game a little behind and did my little thing until, of course, my daughter was about to be born, and just gave that shit up completely.
That's dope.
Yeah,
Man,
bro.
you, I was gonna say you got humble beginnings, but at the same time, the production came out of necessity, which I've noticed with a lot of MC producers. The production's been the same. They've had issues where people are not coming through, so they started to take it upon themselves to learn.
Yeah. Because I looked at it like, yo, I have all of these CDs and vinyls around me. So, like, from mad genres. Like, because I told you, my grandmother's like, both of my grandmothers are different ethnicities. One is black. You know, her favorite artist is Barry White, Teddy Pendergrass, Al Green, and all of that. And then she got into, like, gospel, like, you know, Yolanda Adams and all of that and stuff. So, it's like, I got that side, and then I got this side, my Honduran, Puerto Rican side, where they listening to Jose and Juan Gabriel and Rocio Ducal and all of that and stuff. So it was cool. I just paid attention to what I liked and what I could rhyme to, and then once I figured out how to like do pitches and switch shit up and all of that, bro, it was over after that. I was like, oh shit. My first sampled beat was my 30-second beat. Before that, I used to just play everything, and honestly, doing that helped because I'm not just a producer. I also could play the flute. I was lead flute for the band in my school. For both.
Okay.
Yeah, for information technology high school in Queens, and then when we moved to Jersey and Bayonne, and I was second lead flute over there too for their band. So it was like I could read music and all of that. So I incorporate all of that into the music.
That's dope. Now you live in Bayonne for a minute. That's not far from where I'm at.
Where you at?
It's Staten Island. I'm actually.
Oh, yeah.
I'm right next to the Bayonne Bridge.
Yo, bro, I'm literally, once you get off the Bayonne Bridge from Staten Island, you make a right. I'm like 4 blocks. I used to live like 4 blocks away on 5th.
Oh, that first exit. Yeah.
Not too far from the First Street Project.
Yeah.
Yeah, right over there.
Okay.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in the First Street Projects until it was bad for me to spend time in the First Street Projects.
That's dope. Before I talk about your collaborative albums, I want to know how you got affiliated with the whole Broken Home crew.
Who's that? Talking about Pro Era?
Oh no, I said Broken Home.
Broken Home.
Alvin B, Spit Gems.
Well, when I turned 13, there was a dude that owned a studio that went to, that was in the streets with my pops and my uncle and all that. And he owned a studio called Goblin Music Studios. So he basically told me, he was like, I hit him up on Facebook because my uncle and my pops was like, the nigga was like, I live on the same avenue as the studio. So he's like, you go fucking 3 blocks up the block, you go speak to this dude, go speak to God, see what's up. Maybe he'll get you some placements or whatever. So I hit him up on Facebook, and he was like, yeah, come through. I sent him some shit that I had on SoundCloud. So I went over there, and the first time I went there, it was like, it was a couple of bitches over there and stuff. But that's when I met Starvin B, Shaz Ill York, and damn, who else? I'm missing somebody important too. I just can't think of the name off the top of the head. But I met these two dudes. So they were listening to the beats and all that, and they're like, yo, these are fire. Like, like certain beats, I'm still fresh to it. So certain beats they're not feeling, they're like, all right, next. But it was honestly the greatest thing that could ever happen because it taught me to take constructive criticism lightly and like, help like use that to help me become better.
Better, yeah.
Yep. Because then after that, I would keep going there, and that's when I met Psycho Les. I met Juju. Juju's like my second father. I look at him like an uncle. He even got the same birthday as my father.
Oh wow. The numbers once again.
Yep. So Juju, Large Pro, I definitely give a lot of props to because he listened to a lot of my beats and told me, yo, fix this here, and I took that with me within my career, like to this day. Like shit needs heavy bass line sometimes. You can't just be just letting the sample bass line play and all that. Like nah, it should need bass line.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's how I met. Them, Tragedy, Royal Flush, Lil Fame, Illa G. Those are my dudes, man. Like they wouldn't be if it wasn't for me making that move and going to that studio to Goblins. And the late great Sean Price, rest in peace.
Just like you said, everything happens for a reason at a certain time.
Absolutely does.
Yeah, that's dope. So one of the crazy joints that you did was the project with Skanks from Bankai Fan, Two-Sided Story.
Two-Sided Story, yes.
Man.
I had a great time making that one too. Yep, that was a great job. And I like working with Skanks because it's all hands on. He does everything himself. We go and he's like, all right, let's do this, like this, let's do this. Take a couple of takes and, it comes out authentic as a motherfucker.
My thing with Skanks that I always enjoy is he's one of those, he always brings the same energy no matter what the content is about. And you feel what he's speaking about. And if you ever see him perform, which I have a few times in the years, it's just like any song that you listen to with him.
Bro, I would definitely say that Skanks is one of the best performers I've ever got to ever work with. Like he knows crowd control. He got that shit down pat.
Yep.
Skanks is definitely one of like top 10 people I've ever worked with. Consistent. He always believed in me. Like, so I got nothing but good things to say about Skanks. And that's my Gemini brother right there.
Yeah. And big shout out because y'all did the Martyrs Angel Posse track. Yo, that right there. See, what I like is y'all definitely put some ill spitters on here. I have to say it because we speaking females.
Of course.
I don't like to separate them, but in this case in point right here, Martyrs Angel, that has to be put out there. All these females are spitters, and I've been talking about Aida for a long time, so she already knows. Number one, and then you have Mommy Bars on there and Makiba. Oh my goodness!
Absolutely, all of them killed that shit, man. I swear. like I really wanted like I wanted the females to showcase themselves, like, you know, because they be holding themselves. Can't back out.
Yeah.
But oh, my fault. I gotta back up a little bit.
Okay.
Niggas don't know how to drive. There we go. All right. But yeah, they all did their thing on there and shit, you know. Is it Mommy Bars, Akiba, got Trouble Queen, and Aida. Yep. I think Aida right now is probably the nastiest female spitter in all of New York, in my opinion. It's like it's her and Shay North.
Yep.
Like in all of New York. I say in all because I even got songs with Aida that has never been released. Like she just got bars for days, yo.
Mm-hmm. And meaningful, consistent, thought-provoking bars that'll put you to shame type of.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, it's context. All of it's context.
Yep.
Telling you, yo, she's dope. It was always a pleasure to work with her. She was actually supposed to be on the Van Gogh shit, but we weren't able to get that track mixed on time.
Ah, okay.
But we got 2 tracks actually, and then like where we both spit in, and then we also have 2 tracks where she's spitting on 2 of my beats. So one day everybody will get to hear it. It's in due time.
Yep, it'll be placed on the right project.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And the other collaboration project you did was with Rochester's own Ito for the War on Terror.
Yes, sir. Yep, that was oh man, getting that done. It was like it was a process and a half. I'm just so glad it came out the way it did, because it should have been out, to be honest. It should have been out by like 2022 to 2023.
Even though it dropped last year, it's still on point. It don't sound dated.
Nah, see, it's time. It's timeless music. That's what my fault. But that's what I'm aiming for. Everything that I'm releasing right now, I'm just trying to make timeless music. I just want it to sound good in 10 years. I want it to sound good in 20 years. I want it to sound good when my great-grandchildren are around, like shit like that. Just, I don't want to give half-ass work no more. I did a lot, I did a lot of half-ass, projects with people. So it's like, and then they've never seen the light of day. I'm just so happy Van Gogh came out, because Van Gogh's been done since 2022.
Wow.
Yeah. All of that is pre-dad raps. That's pre-dad Tre raps. That's why it's just like, it's different. It's like, now my raps are a little more, I would say like grown manish. Like, it's like trying to not portray an image that I'm not anymore. You feel me? I don't want to be a rap of gimmicks. I just want to be me. You feel me? I want to do whatever feels good.
I feel like, yep. What was I going to say? Oh, being that we spoke about those 2 collaborations, was there any other collaborations that you put together that, you really want to come out, but they just haven't, that you can speak on?
There's 2. All right, there's 2 of them, right? All right, so it's one. Well, I released one, right, with my boy. He goes by Tre now, but he used to go by Marvelous J. We released a EP. Well, not really EP. It was an album. It's called NWA, New World Aura. And it came out. That was actually released before Trelude. and I did all the beats on there. But a lot of people don't know about that. So me and him, we're gonna work on part two to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of that release. So it's like, that's something that's in the works. And also I had a really ill project with the owner of the last studio I used to work with, like I used to work at heavily. I got it's entirely produced by me, and I don't. And this is the thing. This is the project I feel like probably won't ever see the light of day until, like, it's like paperwork got to be done and all of that. But
Mhm.
it's entirely produced by me. The verses are already laid down. I got a track with Large Professor on there.
Ooh.
I got a track with Homeboy Sandman. I got a track with, who else is it? I got a track with Fame. I got a track with Tre Eiht. It's a track with
Dope.
with FT, my boy FT. What is Street Smarts FT,
Oh, okay.
and there's somebody else.
That's crazy. You just brought him up because I can't keep all my records in one spot. So I got some stuff in storage, and I still got stuff up in my parents' attic. But being that you mentioned, I switched some of my old stuff out, to play every once in a while, and I just grabbed these two from the attic, and I know a lot of people remember this joint.
What's that? Problems?
Yep.
Yeah, right. Oh, hell yeah, that's a classic right there. That's a super classic.
And then what's the other one I got? The other one I think was Metal Things, right? Yep. You'll see that.
It's another super classic, man. Shout out FT. That's my dude, man. Like, that's also my other Gemini brother. Many nights that I hung out with FT, man, like just kicking it. Yo, FT, FT, yo, shout out FT. He gave me his computer. I remember when I lost my computer, he gave me his computer because he had FL on that. He was like, yo, I don't utilize this youngin. He's like, yo, here, you can take it, make shit on it and shit, just track it out and give it back to me whenever. And I used that shit until it broke down. And he never complained about it, nothing. I'm pretty sure he probably fixed it by now. But yo, shout out FT, because when I didn't have nothing to make beats on, he gave me that shit. I made a lot of the beats off the Prelude, off of his computer actually.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Yo, word, that's crazy. I completely forgot about that. Yeah. And then besides that, it's Spit Gems and FU and all of that. I met through over there and stuff. We worked on tracks when I was younger, and now we working on tracks now that I'm older. So it's beautiful. It's like,
full circle.
The chemistry's there.
That's dope. Dope. Being that you just brought up FU, big shout out to him and Deep. They had the video shoot that me and you was at.
Absolutely.
If you want to go speak on that joint, because you had a ill verse on there.
Well, it's FU's track, so I'm just waiting for him to let me know like when it's gonna come out and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But me, F, and Blue Azul, like you can't lose. Can't lose. That's we're Deep, produced by Deep. On top of that, you can't lose on that one. Like, yeah, definitely. I feel like it's one of my better verses. I wanted to show and prove on that one because they came through with crazy bars and it's like I just wanted to keep up with them. Even when I first recorded it, I sent it to F, and F was like, yo, you know what? I need you to come with a little bit more energy. I was like, you know what? You're absolutely right. I got you. And I re-recorded it, and that's the take that we took. He's like, yeah, it's the one. So it's like, yeah, but it's I don't know exactly when it's coming out.
Uh-huh.
So I don't want to speak on it too much, but yeah, it's definitely people are definitely gonna fuck with that one. Good video. Video shot by Clear Vision. My boy Caesar McFly. No, Queensbridge. Feel me? It's a couple blocks away from my stomping grounds. You know, it's Queens. So, it's Queens, man. It's a beautiful place. I
Yep.
love I love being from this borough because it's like I feel like a lot of other boroughs they don't stick together as much as we do over here and shit. But I could be wrong.
Come on. 40 bucks. You drop down.
Word?
Yeah.
All right, bro.
Yo, you enjoy your happy birthday, yo.
All right, good looking out, man.
Yo,
Please.
cool, yo.
Thank you.
Enjoy your podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna go get a drink. I'm gonna take
Go ahead, do your thing, man. Peace.
yo, enjoy your podcast, yo.
All right.
Enjoy the food.
Yeah, man.
Happy birthday, yo.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was gonna say, is today officially your birthday?
Nah, everybody just celebrating it because
Okay.
my official birthday's on Friday. Me and Big L, we got the same birthday. Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah. But everybody came out today to celebrate because I'm gonna have my daughter tomorrow and Friday, so I want to spend time with her.
Gotcha.
Like, everybody else want to hang out. We can hang out today. Tomorrow. Like right now, I'll go home after this, get some sleep, wake up in the morning, go see my baby girl. Like that's really gonna make my birthday. That's my real birthday present. You feel me?
I feel you. I got two sons. You know, my son just had his senior prom yesterday. Now I was the chauffeur.
Nice. One day, bro. One day. I don't got no sons. I got this baby girl right now. But I know when I'm looking for that right woman to choose. Where we can to try for a son. Just so we on the same page and shit. I want my son to build his immunity up. I want and they drop some food on the grass, pick it up and eat it. Fuck it. Stuff like that. But not a lot of females on that same type of timing, so I gotta find. It's all in due time.
Yeah.
Right now I'm just focused on raising the beautiful girl that I got right now and getting myself established to a point where I can build the family in the future and all of that. Because
Definitely on the right frame. Yep.
bro, yeah, guys. They say, like I see a lot of people blowing up, like in their 30s and 40s, but I just look at it like that's cool, but I don't need to wait that long. You feel me? If I have this understanding now, why shouldn't I utilize it now? You feel me? Everybody want to have a good time and party and all of that and shit. I didn't even want to come out to this motherfucking shit. I really didn't even want to celebrate my birthday. But everybody else, they're like, you deserve it. Like, I didn't pay shit. I just went over there, I drank, fucking ate good, played some pool.
Mm-hmm.
I never, and like I'm fucking. What I say? I said some shit. I said some shit. I had a videographer come around and capture the cool parts. I ain't even a rapper. I'm a traveling pool shark. So it's like, cause I went up in there and it's like I never lost the game. And then after that, I was like, all right, whoever wants the table can have it. Come downstairs. Like I do this podcast. You feel me? So it's like, yeah, I like to come out and just if my peoples want to celebrate for me, so be it. Like it's like, but hey, I got other shit I gotta do that's a little more important. Like you feel me? I gotta set myself up, man, because it's like I don't want to. I've done it already. I've done it twice already, where I try to build with somebody. Now I'm like, I just rather build myself and have my own stuff. Like have my own, and then when I'm at that level, I meet somebody else that has their own, and
then come together.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I just feel like that's healthier, man. I feel like that's healthier. Yeah.
And the way you move, and from what you're telling me how you are with your daughter, she's gonna absorb everything that you do and appreciate it when she gets older.
Yo, I'm telling you, it's even to the point where I write like journals directly to my daughter, like explaining my mindset. God forbid anything ever happens, it's like at least she'll be able to read that one day. Like even I don't plan on that. I don't want to talk that into existence. Anything.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be in my daughter's life forever. But I'm saying when she's older and stuff, I want her to read like this was my mindset growing up, because I got a chance to read like journals of like my aunt and like my pops like letters and shit and all that, or my uncle when he was locked up sending me letters and stuff like that. I want her to have something from a time where shit wasn't all that great, but now, in the future and shit when everything is good, I'm like, I want you to understand it wasn't all like, peaches and cream. It was
Right.
struggle that was, a lot of struggle was the fuel to get to where I am now. It's like I don't ever want her to feel like like spoiled and shit. Like I do want to spoil her, but I want her to be raised the same way I was. Like keep your grades up, and I'm gonna reward you with that. Like I'll reward you like that and shit. Like,
That's exactly what my parents did. Yep.
yeah, keep your grades up, and whatever you want, you gonna have it. Like I'm gonna make sure I can get it for you. That's it though. But yeah.
Being that we speaking on love, we got to talk about how your series kind of more came to be.
Sure. What's that?
Oh, I was saying, being that we speaking on so much love, I said let's segue into how your series kind of more came to be.
Oh, I just felt, I used to come across so many samples because I listen to a lot of love songs. I feel like I'm a helpless romantic, as they would say. I listen to a lot of love songs, bro, and I just came up with like it was so many beats that I had. It was like love this, or like that's why I love you, and so I was like, yo, you know what? For Valentine's Day, every Valentine's Day, I'm gonna just release a beat tape with all the samples that I mentioned love in it, because I got way more than enough of the motherfuckers. So I'm like, yo, I might as well just do it. So it stuck, and a lot of people now they follow that. They're like, waiting for the next one. This year I didn't release one because I made most of the beats already, but they were on a computer I no longer have access to.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't using FL on my computer when I was living with somebody else. I was using her computer, and I wanted to extract all of that stuff, but they didn't want me to extract anything from their computer, so I haven't been producing since like the end of January. That's why I've been writing so much and like doing like that, because
Mhm.
I feel like I'm not gonna. I want to just buy FL and buy all the plugins and all that and shit, but then I also got bills and debt that I gotta pay, and student loans and IRS and all of that and shit. So I'm like, let me take care of that shit first before that shit bite me in the ass in the future, and then I'll get FL, because right now I don't need beats. Like I got talented ass. Shout out my dude Denny LaFleur. Shout out like Simon Hampton, like Reese, and these dudes they giving me beats. Those like they giving me beats. Like I don't need to ask anybody. No Hokai giving me beats, like whole projects, and he's mixing and mastering. Like it's like I gotta take this blessing in disguise and run with that shit, because like I can't make the beats right now, but I have an arsenal of people that are believing in me so much that they're like, here, just use my beats. Like I'll mix it, I'll do this. Here, just I'll give it to you for this price and all that. So I'm just utilizing that as much as I can, bro, because a lot of artists aren't blessed with this like this fucking this gift. Like I look at it like it's a gift from God. Like you can't do what you really want to do right now, but you still listening to music, you finding samples. So save them samples to the side, but make these other songs, and then get back to the production shit. Cause then right when I do the production, once I get back to the production shit, I'm gonna start doing some shit with 07, my boy 07, I'm gonna definitely do a whole project with him. We've been talking about that in the works for now, like it's like 2 weeks now. So it's that. Um, Me and my boy Avalanche, we got this whole Sade project that we're doing that I produced, so it's like it's just gonna be a non-stop work after another after another. I'm not trying to hold back no more at all.
Got you on that. When I, Yuri gave a great example of how and why the consistency is with the music and everything.
Mm.
I'm also a person that also likes to know about album covers. So, being that your new album, Van Gocho, is out, tell us about that and who created it, where the vision come from.
Well, that's my boy. It's Aaron Rodriguez, I believe his name is. I'm not exactly sure. I don't want to butcher where he's from. I want to say Argentina, but he could not. He might not be from there. But that whole project was executive produced and like curated by my dude Vino. At the time, he was my manager. So I just was like, yo, you know what? You give me beats because I was still like doing my bullshit, not really taking the music serious. But he believed in me. When I stopped taking it serious and I was like, I'm gonna just stick to the street. He was like, nah, yo, you should get in. You should, yo, I want to do this shit with you. I got these producers or whatever. Shout out Vino, definitely, I give him props for that. But yeah, he just got the beats, all of those beats. Most of the names of the tracks, he like that's all him and shit. Like it's curated by him, but the
Mhm.
bars provided by me. And it's like it was in a time where I was just like not sure where the direction I was taking it. I still had bars and shit, and like I had shit to say, but yeah, I let him take the initiative with that, and then I had the fro, so it was like kind of like my pops gave me that the Van Gocho shit. He told me he was like, yo, you should do some shit because you got the ear. He's like, like your Ocho and like Van Gogh. He seen some Van Gogh exhibit years
Mhm.
ago, and he's like, yo, you need to do some shit called Van Gogh Show. I ran it by Vino. He was like, yo, son, that's a great fucking title name. I'm a fucking we're gonna curate it and all of that. So we it's only the whole album is only released on Bandcamp through Exquisite Dope.
Yep. I
But
got the link.
I just released. Yep.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yep.
He may have lost his connection. We're gonna wait for him to come back. But again, Tre Eiht's album Van Gocho is out now as of May 2nd of this year.
Yep.
Hey,
It's probably just the rain and shit. But yeah. But yeah. So he definitely curated that whole project and shit. So that's how that became. But it was just also like it was just a lot of shit going on. We also got another project produced by the homie Yoga Flame Kane. Rest in peace to him because he passed
peace,
away.
yeah.
Yeah. I got a whole project produced by him, but we just gotta get that mixed and then get that out next after the Van Gogh. Van Gogh's out now, so yeah, it's like just trying to get all this music out because you know tomorrow's never promised, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Not so. Like I have no reason to keep holding on to stuff. I don't want things to like current events and all that I'm talking about. I don't want it to like people don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore. I'd rather have it be a time capsule for that era.
I feel that. Now, I was talking about this earlier about releasing music, older music, and have it not sound dated. And I mean, you've proven that. But has there ever been moments where you caught something that you said in a song and you're like, I gotta change this?
Yeah, when I'm mentioning like certain exes, like on 59th Street Bridge, I had to take out one of my ex's name on it because I was dating my BM at the time, and it's like, So now when I write shit, it's kind of more like I'm trying to keep it more vague, not too, it's still like me, but it's like it can also relate to other people. They don't have to like put names in there and shit and all of that. Cause then also even like going to court and all this with my BM. I don't know if you heard a recent track that I dropped. It's called Back to the Block.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
actually have the video queued up.
yeah. So yeah, I dropped Back to the Block, and she tried to use that against me in court, but I don't mention her name or nothing. So it's like, I wish her the best. I'm not like, there's no malice towards it. It was just me telling my side of the story. She's more than welcome to do that. I'm not gonna say anything about it. This is artistic vision,
Hmm.
but it's just like my truth. So it was like the courts even were just like, yeah, there's nothing really to say about that. I'm not mentioning that woman's name or nothing. So like, and she's
We're,
a talented artist herself. So like, I'm sure she's gonna have something to say. But,
it's all in, the person.
hmm
You know, I've dealt with my issues with my previous as well, so I understand. And that came with some chest pains for a minute. So I know how much the health thing is when you have your child, that you're doing your best to still be around, still do the same things you did before when y'all together, and the negative coming out of the other person's mouth, a lot can get to you.
of course. And it's like I didn't want it to get to another level, so I just put it into music. And then on top of that, it's a lot of people that I know that's gone through the same exact thing. So it's like a lot like I asked a couple of people, I confided in a couple of people whether I should release it. And when
Hmm.
they heard it, they were like, "Yeah, you definitely need to release it because like I know people that went through the same exact thing, and it's like people can relate to that. Like you're not mentioning no names, you're not, people feel like this too. It's like there are good dads out there. There's some piece of shit dads out there that don't want nothing to do with their kids. And
Hmm.
it's like, and there's dads like me and like other people that I'm also cool with that try their hardest to be in their lives, but it's like uh the emotional like the emotional
Toll.
toll, I guess,
Yep.
on the other partner or whatever. It's like no, it's like it's like they feel betrayed or something, but it's like no, I'm just doing what's best for our child. Like if we're in a toxic relationship, our child shouldn't be exposed to it. So maybe
Exactly.
it's best if we grow separately, but also be the best parents that we can possibly be to this human that we created. You understand?
Yeah. Because
So
what the adults don't realize, and you find out when you continue to have a great communication with your child, is they feel like they're the problem.
exactly, and
And that's the
yo,
last thing that
and
you
I
want.
grew up, like that. I grew up feeling like I was the problem until I realized no, I wasn't. It was just too. My pops is a foul nigga. Like honestly, I just like even like his his reasoning for even getting my mom pregnant. I'm just like, damn, that's crazy. But
Hmm.
I respect it, and my mom still love him. He still love my mom. Like they got love for each other, but they don't speak. They haven't seen each other in like 22 years. You feel me? But it's like I don't want to be like that. I
Yeah.
understand. I understand. Like yo, yeah, people make mistakes, but I'm not. I don't want to look at this like as a mistake. Nah, because I definitely wanted to conceive this child with this person because I felt like the good in her and the good in me would
Yeah.
produce a beautiful human being. You feel me? And honestly, our daughter is fucking awesome. She's fucking
That's
awesome.
great.
Yeah, she's a chill ass baby. Like she listens. I'm like, yo. Like she has the best of us. The best of us is inside of this child. Son. Like yo, all we gotta do is just keep, keep feeding. She's a sponge. Just keep feeding her knowledge and
Yep.
yeah. I don't be doing that goo goo gaga all that shit with her. Nah, I speak to her like she's grown. Like understand full sentences. Like is this what you want? Like do you want this? Do you want so, like yo that's the future right there. I need to prepare her for life.
Yeah, it is. Yep. Definitely.
Yeah,
Let me get the video up for Back to the Block.
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm gonna go outside real quick and take a leak.
All right.
Oh shit, here we go again. I had to come back to the block. I had to come back to it. But I ain't moving no packs on the block. Nah, I ain't that stupid. I had to come back to the block. You know some women love to act foolish. Baby mama wanna lie to the cops. Nah, this just rap music. I said my baby mother's ignoring me. When I question how's my daughter doing, when can I see her? This shit's stressing. Never turn that feature off. I can see when she read the message. Guess the apple don't fall too far from the tree. Me and my BM can't communicate directly. Both got order of protections on each other. I never thought things would go into this direction. Used to love her, but the past is the past. I'm going in and out of feelings where I'm sad and I'm mad. She out here trying to make it look like I'm an absentee daddy. But my daughter ain't no bastard. She has a pappy. Used to think her ass was bad, but her ass was just bad for me. Police escort grabbed my belongings happily. I'm trying to raise my baby, but she keeping her from me. And got the nerve to tell the public she ain't keeping her from me. Good women telling me, damn Trey, she is a dummy. You did a lot for her. I hope she doesn't squeeze you for money and file for child support. Nah, she always told me she'd never do this, but nowadays I wouldn't be surprised if she ever do. Fiending to be a bride or these dreams of a wedding. Oof. Then I seen her turn into this evil creature I never knew. Her pop Deuce lending me some bread and he could have it in a week, but his daughter all in his head. She trying to act like I'm a thief. I texted him asking for his Zelle, ain't got no reply, but it's cool. I'd rather give him his cash when we eye to eye, the type of guy that I be. You'll never find another kind like me. As far as I see, you only attract what you transmute, so that's highly unlikely. Hope she finds whatever she's seeking for, but I gotta say bye to protect my peace. She knows I never raised my hand toward her. I don't know why she making it hard to raise my damn daughter when all I did was support her and gave a hand to her. But this the thanks I get. Ain't that a bitch? Why the fuck she lying? Why you doing that? She know I was trying to give us a lavish life. Refer to her as my wifey. She said I busted her lip though, and then she told him my deal blow. I don't do that. But I'm the one who called police. Make it make sense, man. Shit. I had to come back to the block. I had to come back to it. But I ain't moving no packs on the block. Nah, I ain't that stupid. I had to come back to the block. You know some women love to act foolish. Baby mama wanna lie to the cops. Nah, this just rap music. Gotta come back to the block.
Angel. It's your conscience speaking. Now I know you wanna act up. Get on the gram and post your rebuttals. but don't hurt this bitch. Because the truth is, she gonna hurt herself trying to hurt a guy like you. Oh yeah. How you gonna be father of the year and have your baby mama acting weird? You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes to harmony, you should have been living harmonious, but instead she's making allegations that's erroneous, and you know this shit. So if it don't apply, let it fly. And keep it deep, because you about to get your daughter. You feel me?
Back to the Block. That's a meaningful song right there.
Yeah, man. You know, it's like that's the first song that I made since not being able to see my daughter and all of that and shit. You know, so it's like, but it's cool now. You know, things is getting better. Like I say, everything works out the way that it's supposed to. You feel me?
Absolutely. And I gotta give a big shout out to Aida tuning in real quick. Big shout out. She's showing love to you, Trey.
Oh, where's shout out Aida, yo? Feel me? The alligator. Go cop her gator salve. You feel me? Yeah,
No
yeah.
doubt.
Got any family with arthritis or all of that? You know, they aching or whatever. You use that gator salve. Put your hands to work. Feel me? It's gonna get that pain right out.
Before we go, I want to say, Tre Eiht, I appreciate you, taking the time to be able to speak with us, because this is more than music, is what I always say, because we all have our stories, and people that have talent like you can articulate them in ways that if I was to tell my story would be completely different, because I don't have your talents. So I enjoy it, what you create for others, and production, and lyrics has always been on point from what I hear. And to know that you, as another man, from one man to another, speaking on knowing that there's a change that you need to make in your life, and to witness it not just through the music but through this interview, is appreciated.
Absolutely. Like I said, brother, everything happens for a reason. It's like we needed to have this interview today, because it's like after today, I'm gonna look at things a little more differently. It's like even off of just listening to the song and everything like that. Like I don't have no animosity towards Shorty or anything like that. Just I just hope that she's just doing the best that she could do. Same as me. That's all I can do. Be the best, be the best I could be. Be better than I was yesterday. That's the goal. You feel me?
And my last, good.
No. I was just saying, that's just the goal, is just to be better than I was yesterday. And I just hope that she's doing the same. It's like, raise this baby. Like, beautiful baby. Selling, future right there.
Definitely. What I was gonna say is, one more thing is, you gotta be a special kind of person to be able to work with, treat, and care for animals. So you gotta tell me how you got into being a veterinary technician.
Well, so I was working for FedEx for a long time, right? And they were paying me the most and everything, and I felt like they were trying to get me out. So they started like basically saying like, oh, something's missing on your route. Like, what's this or whatever, whatever. Just giving me a bunch of runarounds. They started treating me like kind of weird, because they wanted to get me out so they can have another young dude come in. They pay him less.
Mm-hmm.
So the only job I ever did this at, bro, because I don't like to burn bridges with people, you feel me? But this job, I told them, I was like, yo, you know what? Thank you for the fucking 3 years of slavery. Like, working through all of COVID, like, getting paid, getting paid, bro, I could have made more money signing up for unemployment. But my boss was like, "Yo, man, if you do this for me, I'll look out for you." So I looked out for these dudes, and they shitted on me at the end because at the
Wow.
end of the day, I'm not Korean. I'm not down with them. I'm not part of their culture or nothing. So I'm another pawn.
Hmm.
So I left them and just kind of winged it. And I was with my ex at the time before my BM and shit, and she was just like, just chill and I'm sure you'll find something. We living in Far Rockaway, and my cousin's mom's hits me up because I've had animals my whole life, fucking pit bulls, hamsters, cats, fucking turtles, iridescent sharks, fucking all types of animals. So she's been working as a vet tech in like CSR and all that for Animal Hospital since she was like 14 years old.
Oh, wow.
So it was an opening for the kennel department, and she was just like, hey, she asked my cousin if I would be interested because she knew I was looking for work, and I was like, hell yeah. So I went over there, I met my supervisor, and he was like, yo, like, when do you want to start? And I was like, I'll start today. So I guess they liked the initiative, and on top of that, now they tell me shit, but I'm stubborn, man. I gotta learn my own. Feel me? So they tell me some shit, and they're like, "Yo, this dog right here, be careful of him. He's a little like he has neurological problems."
Mhm.
I don't fucking I'm just there like, man, I deal with crazy dogs all the time. So I let this dog out that's never met me a day in my life, and I'm going upstairs. So we got a whole hold on one second. I'm going up the stairs because we got like a big backyard in the back. Let them big dogs run around,
Yeah.
and this dog comes from behind me and bites me in the ass. And he don't bite me in that. And, yo, bro, he bit me in the ass like a chunk of my
Like a chunk. Damn.
like yo, my jeans is gone. Like part of my jeans is gone. He bit me in the ass. Like I still got the scar on my ass. Like that's just crazy. Shit is crazy, son. But they looked at it like I wasn't scared of him. After he bit me, I was like, get the fuck out of your what? Go back in your cage, right? You feel me? It's like, you gotta let him know who the alpha
Yeah.
male is.
Hmm.
When you come dealing with big ass, mind you, this dog's like 130 pounds. Fucking, like, King Corso mix. So I'm like, get the fuck back in the cage. And they listened to me, and then they were like, all right, yeah, you know what? You can work here. And after that, me and that dog became mad cool. His owners came through the next day. It was like, yo, we'll buy you your whole uniforms and shit for the next, like, for your weeks or whatever. I was like, all right, yeah, cool. Then I end up walking that dog home. Like, I ended up starting being his walker and all that. They paying me like 25 to walk him in the morning, and then 25 to walk him back. So quick 50 extra dollars for 15 minutes. Like, yo,
Mhm.
so I just started hustling with that job, and when they seen I wasn't scared with it, they was like, yo, do you want to get into like vet tech work? And I was like, fuck it, why not? So I started doing the vet tech shit and holding them, like doing expressing anal glands and all that. Bro, honestly, the job is it's crazy. So I ended up being like, nah, I don't want to do vet tech work no more. I'm gonna go back to the kennel. Yeah, so now on the real, I help the vet techs upstairs, like in the animal hospital, but we also have doggy daycare and we got boarding.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And we do baths and all of that. So I take care of that part. That whole area, that's me. Like, you feel me? Me and my supervisor, but I'm in charge of most of that shit. And my supervisor just lets me be in charge of the shit. And yo, bro, honestly, everything's working smooth. Like, it's cool. It's really it's therapeutic because these dogs, they don't, like, they come up to you, they can feel vibes and shit. Like,
Yep.
it's like sometimes when I'm down, a dog will come up to me and just like look at me a certain way, and I'm like yo, you know exactly what I'm feeling. Like, come here, like, and it's like that shit helps my whole day. I swear. I like being there and then also having my part time at the Apollo. Like, I can't lose. Both my dream jobs.
Mm.
Hmm.
So how's the cat Bianca? How's that one doing now?
Bianca, she's with her dad now. She comes through like maybe every 2 months or something like that. But me and her
Hmm.
cool now. Me and her cool. My BM had a fucking mean ass cat that is in my grandmother's house sometimes, but we bring her back and forth to Jersey. But she was an asshole, and now me and her are mad cool. I'm like, yeah. So I feel like it just takes a amount of like love for
Yep.
yeah. It's just like they have to see the consistent love. They got to see that it's not bullshit, so that they can accept you petting them and like, all right, yo, look, I'm taking care of your ass, man. Like, you know. So it's cool seeing them warm up to you and shit. That's my therapy, bro. Animals.
I was gonna say that too. I was like, that has to be, your therapy, and because just just when I watched those certain posts that you had a few months back of how you eased into everything with the cat, I was like, that's not for everybody because some people will react with that same energy that the animal's giving off to them, and
Yeah.
you're not gonna it's not gonna solve anything. So big respect to you on having that type of heart and tranquility.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Nah, it comes from having to deal with that with people. Like my family ain't easy people to deal with. They're very loud, very aggressive, but they mean well. Like it's like I was yo man. I was just chilling with my pops yesterday, bro. Tell you like this, and everything with him is yo motherfucker and this like yo just like he's always is straight profanity all the time, but he don't mean no harm. It's just
Mhm.
like that's just his
That's how it
vocabulary.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like he's very expressive with his words, but it's like yeah, a lot of people can get like they'll be confused, like, yo, is this man okay? Like, no, me, I'm just used to it. So it's just like I feel like I apply that with certain animals, even animals that be trying to attack me. I'm just like, it's okay. Like, don't worry, I understand. You're scared. Like, you're this is how you express yourself. But I know that you're okay because you have an owner that you love. You feel me? So it's like I know
Yep.
that you're capable of having love, and I'm not a bad person. So come here, I got you. Like even if you want to attack me, it's all right. I got these gloves. You go and attack the shit out of me. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm gonna put you in this cage. You're gonna be clean. You're gonna have a new home. I'm gonna get you some food. So it's like yeah. After a while, you do that for like 3 days straight, and they start being like, damn, maybe I'm an asshole. I gotta chill. Yeah.
I love that, man.
Bro, I just found a cat the other day that became my cat. Yo, this fucking cat is awesome. It's a Burmese cat. Fucking found it in Jackson Heights. This is crazy, yo. And that cat is the illest cat I ever met. Illest cat. Like once I get my apartment, that cat's coming straight to my apartment, bro. Telling you.
Got a home.
Yeah, she has a home. That's it. She's chilling. She over there at the animal hospital catching mice and shit, like walking around with the dogs in the backyard. I'm like, yo,
Wow.
this cat is a human. Like the cat got to be a human. It understands everything I'm saying to it. I'll be like, yo, all right, it's time to go in. She say some shit to me, and then she meows some shit to me, and then she comes back inside with me. I'm like, yo, this cat is crazy. Like, yo, it got to be like a reincarnation of
Reincarnation,
somebody
yeah.
I know. Like, it has to be. Because for it to find me, bro, I came to Jackson Heights, right, to go drop off a car to my man. My man's like, yo, you want a cat? I'm like, nah, hell no, bro. I don't want no fucking cats. He's like, yo, son, this cat, like, it just found me and, like, it was trying to cross the street, but I didn't want it to get hit. Yo, the cat's chilling there, sitting next to us, just talking to us the whole time, right? And we asking people on the block, like, yo, you know this cat? You know this cat? Yo, does this cat belong to you? Yo, so now I told my man, I'm like, yo, son, I got a performance later that day with my boy Avalanche in Brooklyn for Liggy Long shit, right? So I told my man, I'm like, yo, son, if I didn't have this performance, like, I'd take it to the animal hospital I work at. So he's like, yo, word? My boy E. He's like, yo, word? He's like, yo, take the car. Go take her over there and shit, and then fucking, it's all right. Just give me back the car another day. So I take her over there. Yo, Matt, I didn't even have to ask her, like, I didn't have to bring her into the car, nothing. I was just like, yo, come here, you want to come with me? Yo, the cat jumped into the car and sat in the passenger seat. I was like, yo, nah, this isn't, yo, I was like, nah, this is my homie. Like, this is, so, like, I know this person. Yo, and the whole time I'm driving from Jackson Heights to the city with the cat chilling in the passenger seat. We over there just listening to fucking, what is it, Linda Clifford, Never Gonna Stop Loving You. I'm like, this cat is an ill ass cat. So now, yeah, that's my cat now. Fucking ill ass cat named Seema. Seem Seema.
Seema. Nice. That's dope,
bro.
man. Tre Eiht, I'm gonna let you go for tonight. You know, again, thank you for speaking with us. Thank you for music, and thank you for letting us know a piece of your life that, you know, has brought you to where you are now.
Absolutely, bro. Shit, it's a pleasure to, you know, share that with you. If I share it with anybody, you know, it's a pleasure sharing it with you. On top of that, you know.
Highly appreciate it. Before we go, give you shout outs and let everyone know where they can reach out and also support your music as well as the new album, Van Gogh Show.
For sure, yeah, yo. Shout out Vino and Steel Tip Dove who mixed and mastered Van Gogh Show and shit. Shout out my boy Avalanche. We got Shot Callers out. Shout out Passport Rav. We got Escape Artists out. Shout out, you know, my dude Grim Doze who I'm working on shit now. Shout out Simon Hampton because we got the Grand Scheme that's coming out very soon. Who else? You can follow me on TRE period EIHT on pretty much everything. Yeah, spell it EIHT. It doesn't have the G in it, you know. Think of MC8. And what else? What other shout outs can I give to people right now? Yo, you know, shout out you, Ian. Shout out you, bro. Fuck, yo, man. Thank you for having me on here. No shit. I had a great time talking to you.
Definitely. Big respect.
For sure, bro. Yeah, definitely. Anytime, man. Whatever you need, bro, just hit me up. You got my contact now.
Yep.
You got to move furniture, man. Just hit me up. Shit, we boys now.
If I need any help with an animal as well,
if you have an animal,
you might steer me through that.
Word up. You need you go to the country and your animal get a tick or something, yo, bring it to my job. I got you. I'll get you a tick and flea bath on the house. I got you. For sure.
Appreciate that. And on behalf of our entire HHDG Media crew, we're going to say peace.
HHDG Media, peace.